Okay, so the textures. Textures are really very important if you go for realism. You really have to use very high quality textures. Fortunately, we are using Victoria 7. She already has very realistic textures. If you have another one, the best is that you look, when you want to buy some textures or a character, make sure when you look at the preview renders that it already looks realistic. So if it looks a bit plastic, don't buy it. The textures will never be okay. There is something you can do to make the textures, especially the skin, even more realistic. And that's a product that's called Anagenesis. So you can buy it at the store. You can find the link below under the About tab. If you don't want to buy it, no problem. You can just use the Victoria 7 or any texture you're using now. It will still look okay. So I'm going to apply the Anagenesis to my Victoria 7 model. There are several default options. I really like the Skin B Velvet option. That's this one. Okay, so I'm going to double click it. Make sure that Victoria or your model is selected in the Scene tab. I'm gonna render this to show you what it does to the skin. So I'll open it next to the one that we had. So you can see already it adds really depth and realism to Victoria 7. Okay, I'm gonna cancel it because I'm still changing some textures. Mainly the eye textures are also very important. So when you look at a face, you focus always on the eyes. So the eyes really matter if you go for realism. If the eyes are a bit off, then you're never gonna achieve a good realistic level. Actually, finding good eye textures is extremely difficult. So there are really few good eye textures. I've always been on the lookout and I have found some, and I always use the same ones. You can find them on a model called Agatha for Genesis 3 female. You can find it in the Daz 3D shop. I'll include a link below under the About tab. So actually the skin of that character is not very good, but the eyes are really wonderful. So let's just use the eye textures. I'm gonna show it in the mapped folder, so I can be sure that I'm gonna use the eye ray textures and not the 3D light textures. Eye ray, eyes. So I've got the choice between different colors. I like the eyes to be quite dark, so I'm gonna load these. There you go. Let's render it. So even when not completely rendered, you already see that the eyes have much more depth and look really more realistic than the default eyes of Victoria 7. Okay, next, environment light.